Good morning, gardening friends. Welcome back to my Tea Time Tuesday. It's been a while, hasn't it? For all you faithful watchers. Burgundy is now the main color in the garden and in the landscape. Gives you color all seasons, except winter, of course, but catmint's blooming. Viburnums are blooming. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this steady. And this is always a long one, a long video. And it might be a two-parter because I might be talking a lot. We're leaving. Quite sure we sold the house. You never know until you sign on that dotted line at closing. So here are the hydrangeas I planted last year, I think, or 2 years ago. They're coming, but I want them to hide and make the yard more private here, okay? Because we're limbing up the pine tree. Diablo 9 barks on that. And here are the red prince Wigilias. We got dieback this year, but you can see Dave trimmed out the dead wood and see all the new growth coming? By summer's end, that should be about 4 foot tall. So it'll look pretty and probably bloom too before fall. How do you leave this? You get older and you don't want to be not able to take care of the yard and let it go. Now, if somebody else lets it go, that's their business, but Dave and I couldn't do it. This is sweet autumn peeking over the top, and you see some of it's coming through the fence, so I'm going to let it climb on the bike, and there's some down by the spokes. Should look pretty. Mandevilla and lobelia annual. For those of you who are new to my channel, I don't use a lot of annuals. You'll notice when we're walking through the garden, I sold most of my garden art. Here's a little left for when we have a rummage sale. But no, that's going with. I'm going to hang that in our apartment, the sculpture, and the bicycle rim too. I'm sorry if I'm getting off of the flower subject, but many of you have asked me about our move. Okay, would you believe never in my gardening life have I planted geraniums? And this year I wanted red, and it's the one thing I could get quickly, and it should look pretty. They took nicely, and then the variegated Swedish ivies and cannas that I always save. So let's walk. Again, Annabelle hydrangea. So see how that filled in 2 years? I think that's 2 years. And that's what'll happen over by that pine tree we're limbing up. In fact, I have to prop up these, some of these branches. So you see the daylily under there? I want it to get more light. So the people who move in can enjoy some color there later on this summer. Oh, the bee balm's gonna look very pretty. Big stand of it. Remember, my gardens are 25 years old, so they're full. My gardener lady came back this year to help me. Oh, what a godsend. I'm not kidding you. Corabelles. Dame's Rocket. Yes, some of you don't like it. It's invasive. But as soon as it starts looking ratty and before it sets seed, I will pull some of it out and then cut back some of it so it blooms later. I'm going to give the new owners my gardening books. Trumpet vine died back again. Last year it died back, but came. And you see it coming now. See it up there? Now, what I'm going to watch for a while is that it uses the dead wood as a trellis, okay? Haven't sprayed pepper spray lately. So, our deer are taking a munch on some of my hostas. It's a form of a ranunculus. What is it called? Spreading something. I forget the name. You know it's summer when you start hearing the motorcycles, right? So I'm going to get in here and pull out some of the spiderwort because I want my pygmy barberries to get more light. The oriental poppies are so pretty every year. This is just the common orange one. So this year, I always read that if you cut the oriental poppy for a vase, you singe the end of the stem and it will last in a vase. It won't go limp. And I did it and it worked. And they looked so gorgeous when we showed the house. So gorgeous. Blue spiderwort and white Siberian, and then the common daisy. Alliums, this variety is almost done. And you know, those of you who come on my tours all the time know that this will be blue soon. Real pretty blue. Don't tell anybody, but that's because I spray paint them. My ferns got hit by a very hard freeze in spring. They were black. But new growth came through, and there they are. Gorgeous. The smoke bush I didn't cut back so severely this year, and I see I'm going to have some smoke on it. See some buds. But if you cut it back all the time like I did to about 2 or 3 feet, then it won't get smoke. Right here we have a bulb. It's an allium, and it's called Molly. I think that's the name, Molly. Wish I could have had all of you over for one big garden party and a buffet and all that kind of stuff. But number one, you're all around the world. Number two, this horrible virus. Horrible, horrible. Dave and I are good. My mama's good. So I'm happy. My whole family is. But we have not touched or hugged or even been in the house with each other. We really distance ourselves. I'm going over to my daughter's house. She's getting some of the stuff that she wants and I want to get rid of. And we stayed outside and at a distance. It's hard for me to see my screen. So this is valerian. Fragrant, pretty early white. And I like how, you see how, I call it a see-through plant. So you can have tall up front, but yet you can see the plants behind it yet. Now I want to show you the rose bush back there. I gotta see if I can. It's sunny out today, so I can't see in my screen so good. Teresa Boudet, I think it's called. Shrub rose. Real hardy. The deer seem to leave that one alone. They did eat my yuccas this year. Early in the season, so I don't think they ate the growth that's going to bloom. You'd never know that I pulled out a lot of spiderwort. And yes, you'll see dandelions in my garden because I eat them. I don't mean for them to go to seed, so every now and then there'll be one in seed. It's a pretty fuchsia spiderwort. But again, when something else starts blooming around it, I probably will cut it down to the ground. Lupine. You like my sounds I have here? We'll do the creek another day, okay? The creek. This sculpture is going with me too, and I might be donating it to the community that we're going to be living in. That's too big for inside. I have a smaller one, you know, from a kid's like sidewalk bike. No, not a sidewalk, like a 16-inch bike. Yes, I planted a veggie garden. We'll look at it another day. And I knew it would be for someone else, but I wanted them to be able to walk in and have something to pick and hopefully inspire them to grow. Remember the roof vent was there? My puppy's memorial or marker. I think this allium is Christophii. Sure reseeds a lot. Oh yeah, remember last year, perilla, later in the season, how burgundy and it takes all over. Can you see the tiny burgundy plants? Love the plant, but just warning you, and everybody I give it to, it's an herb. And like all herbs, they reseed a lot. But it's a nice filler. Oh, look at this view. I don't know if it shows up so pretty on the movie camera, but I'm standing under the maple tree and it's looking real pretty, the light. It is early morning. Oh, I think it's about 9 o'clock. Saturday morning, and I'm taking this ahead of time because I don't know what the weather's going to be or what my time is like. So you're going to hear lawnmowers and kids maybe laughing and playing outside. Caesar's brother, Siberian. Boy, trying to split up a big clump of those, I needed Dave, and an axe. It's like splitting grasses, your ornamental grasses. So, die complete. No, not completely. That climbing hydrangea that was on the arch is now dead, but new growth from the bottom. Same with the trumpet vine. And I can't see what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, a little bit I can. So it should look better. We'll cut out the dead and then leave the new growth come. But not all the dead. I'm going to let it on there so the vine has something to trellis on more. There's also a sweet autumn clematis right there that I am training to go over to the arch. I took some of my herbs over to our new apartment, our senior living community, and one of them is yarrow, the wild white yarrow. This plant stops bleeding fast, very fast. Our wild area. I'm going to have to walk backwards because I don't want you to have to walk into the sun. I am going to try to keep up taking videos until we're here, which will probably be till July. I will try. And then I'm going to start taking videos where we're going to be living and my small garden plot. So we'll have a video session on growing older, gardening in small, confined areas. This oak tree right here, probably about 25 feet tall because they grow about a foot a year. Was planted from an acorn when we moved in. Cool? Very cool. We have a blue jay that is got a home in our shed. I can't see where I am. I shouldn't even be trying to direct you someplace. Looking. I'm going to donate that also, I believe. Lynn and Richard, if you watch this video from Wisconsin Gardener, Richard, you said you like lush. And Lynn likes it neat and tidy and in a clump or in a small vista of a plant. Well, this is thick and lush. It's nice, but it can get away from you. So, Richard, think about it. Lynn's got the right idea, keeping it smaller and contained. Japanese grass of some kind. And yes, for a while I leave some perennials, buttercups coming up in there until they bloom, and then I'll yank them out. Talked about this last year, Perilla, Lance Corporal. Now, doesn't that knock your socks off? Nice ground cover. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Insignificant, reddish, small, tiny flower, spiky, but the foliage is super. All the way till the weather gets real hot, like in August, September, and it starts drying up. It'll be darker green. I use this in pots too, okay? As a filler. Free. Free is good. Perilla. No. It's as aggressive as Perilla. But this is called Lance Corporal Persicaria. The deer got down in here a little too. Blue Angels. You want a plant to cover the ground quick. Within 3 years, it's huge. Isn't that with most perennials? First year they sleep. Second year they creep. Third year they leap. Perennials. Lily of the Valley. And ferns. Again, Richard, there's your ferns. That's how they're going to look. This is underused perennial, an herb, sweet Sicily, very pretty. Flowers are gone. Fern-like foliage. Black seed pods will appear. Really nice in the shade. Very nice filler. And height. It's probably about 3.5 feet tall. This one got hit by the deer and a hard freeze. This is some in substance. Huge. It should fill that whole area where you see very little flower around it. Probably about a 6-foot area. The smoke tree. Let's see if I can see how much time. I have 8 minutes. Whoops, I moved too fast. Sorry. The deer ate all of my Solomon seal. All of it. Variegated. This 8-foot area was supposed to be Solomon seal arching over the spreading Jacobs. That didn't happen. But the good thing about perennials, if you plant a variety of them, the deer usually here, they don't eat everything. So something else will take their place, being showy. Where my wild onion came from, or garlic, wild onion I think it is, I don't know, but I got a lot of it. Another favorite this year, to the deer, were the astilbes. So over these ferns here, later on, you will see the ligularia, the rocket, blooming, and it'll pop up above the ferns. It gets about 6 foot. I wonder if I could walk pretty fast. No, we'll leave the woods for another day, okay? I hate to go too quickly. Japanese painted ferns. And that one little plant poking through there is jewelweed. A lot of it. Native. Orange flower. Good for poison ivy, poison sumac if you make a poultice of it. And it works. Here, let's look at these here more. Japanese painted ferns. You can see on the downside here where it starts getting real dry, it isn't as lush as up there. Across the path. Wild area. But I'll get down here and I will pull, or Roxanne will pull, some of the stuff around like this. This is a sedge in here. Oh, that needs some room. A golden variegated sedge. It should look prettier. So the jewel weed pulls real easy. And my edgers to look like alliums, forever alliums. Another foliage plant, Ligularia, the rocket. No. This was Ligularia with a burgundy-ish leaf, and it's called Orthello. Burgundy foliage in there is loosestrife, firecracker loosestrife, and that's why I have it back here. It's aggressive, nice filler. Hummingbirds love it. It'll get little yellow flowers on it, and it loses its burgundy color after it flowers and later in summer with the heat. So here we are on the back path. House is up there. So I'm going to say bye to you now, and I'll keep going till we run out. Thank you very much for visiting me again. It's been fun all these years. A lot of fun knowing you. Thank you. A tea I'm going to try because my bone density is low and I don't want to take medication is, I think this is called silica. I'm not sure. And it's supposed to be good for building bone strength, hair, nails, all that kind of thing. So, and there's some over where I'm going too. Of course, I checked out all the wild edibles on their 100+ acres of nature. And yeah, got dandelion, plantain, garlic mustard there, and violets. What else? What else did they have that I saw there? Oh, I put comfrey in over there. And guess the deer ate it right away. Well, not right away. I had, it's in tall grass, and the deer didn't see it. Then I pulled the grass around it to give it more light, and the deer goes, "Oh, thank you. You made it much easier on us." This is a trumpet vine that was a volunteer from that big arch that I had. Some more sweet Sicily down here. Right there. So pretty. Climbing hydrangeas on this tree, and this one's doing well. I don't see any seeds or flowers yet. Yellow flag. Isn't that pretty? No garden down here this year. More of the firecracker loosestrife, which I will pull because my blueberries are in here. And they're doing well. I think I'll get some blueberries before we leave. So let's stop right now, okay? Take care, my friends. Be safe, be smart. I still wear a mask. I still wear gloves when I go out. Can't be too careful. Not yet. I think we're going to see round 2 coming up. Bye-bye.